It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And welcome to Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne. Before I begin this interview, I mentioned this is the second interview I'm doing tonight. It's Tuesday, October 26th. I mentioned this earlier. I'm going to say it again. I don't have specific information or official information. All I know is that things are really bad right now for Chicago bass hero and legend, Charles Levi. Before I begin this podcast and go in a completely different direction, I just want to send love and comfort to all of Levi's friends and family tonight. It doesn't sound awesome, and the inspiring thing is seeing this community come together and just support Charles Levi. So wanted to get that out of the way. Car Con Carne is back at home. I was in the car over the weekend. I will return to the car soon enough. I'm feeling good about it. I had a vaccinated guest sitting in the front seat with me on Saturday out in Bloomingdale at Wolf Den Brewing. I will return to the car, but every now and then there's a reason to still do it from here in what I laughingly call my home office. Well, I hear a cold beverage being opened. Let's get right to it. That's the siren song calling me to the interview, letting me know that the time has begun to start talking to George Zak. He is a returning guest. He is an artist. He is one of those artists who just, man, you leave this guy to his own devices and he's just going to woodshed and crank out a bunch of cool stuff. Welcome back, Mr. Zak.
Hi, James. How are you, bud?
Good.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. I was just saying before we jumped on this conversation, I'm not ready for all the Halloween stuff to go away on November 1st. Like this is the time. I love this time of year. I know, but right. But come November 1st, all of a sudden, all the cool spooky stuff is going to disappear from the yards. And suddenly Rudolph and Santa will be doing their thing on people's lawns. I like the zombies. I like the skeletons. I like the vampires and the wolves and the mummies. But here we are. But the point is this. Halloween is coming up. Halloween is Sunday as I'm recording this on a Tuesday. And in advance of that, I said you are an artist. You are a painter. This Thursday night at Liars Club, the honorable institution Liars Club, the home to so many wayward souls. At Liars Club on Thursday, it is a spooky day kickoff at which you'll be showing brand new artwork. And this latest raft of art that you've created, it's all spooky themed.
Well, it's B-movie themed. I was thinking about some of the cool, the artwork that used to be on the VHS covers and things of that nature. You had mentioned it a while ago about an album that you bought and you opened it up and there was all the artwork in there, and that's kind of lost nowadays. And even with the cheesy, shitty B-movie, C-movie type stuff, I just kind of got the idea because I didn't really see it before, and I figured, what the hell, that'd be a good thing to do for Halloween, just kind of tried to get creative with it and attach some of them to Chicago as a whole.
I love it. All right, so I have literally seen nothing that you've sent me. I literally downloaded it as we were getting ready to go live here. So everything we're about to see, all this artwork that is part of this event at Liars Club on Thursday, this is all new to me. I have no opinions on this. You're going to walk me through this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is like an unboxing. This is like one of those YouTube videos. Like,
Halloween gifts.
Look at my new video console. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen as we do. All right. I am now sharing my screen. Is that right?
Yep, I see it.
All right, fantastic. Oh, there we go. Yep. Sorry, I got to kill this. And all right. This is gorgeous. The first thing that strikes me here, just the massive pops of color in this image. What am I looking at here?
That one is, I did a fluid art pour a long time ago, and it just kind of always reminded me of a geisha. And but I never really did anything with it. Just kind of, it was waiting for its day to grow up. And this month, today was the day or whatever. And I basically turned it into a geisha as a B movie, and found when I was looking through, just studying geishas a bit, there was a geisha that actually murdered her guy because she loved him so much that she couldn't take the chance of him ever being with somebody else. And her name was Sada Abe. And so I just made her a little B movie poster, or I should have called it Boo movie posters, but and made her one and tried to make it look like it would have been on a VHS cover in 89 or 91,
This is super fun. And yeah, it totally looks like, my first thought was it looks like a movie poster. Very well done. All right. It's what we all feared coming to life. Pumpkin Spice Doomsday.
Yeah, this one was.
You're
fun.
taking some shots here. You're naming some people that a lot of us like. I mean, I thought we could all agree on Tina Fey. We can't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just kind of I love Madonna too, so I just kind of put strong women that probably wouldn't mind bitching about something if they had to.
And so the concept here is
out of respect and fear.
So the concept here is a pumpkin mushroom cloud.
Yeah. I was trying to make a mushroom cloud, and I was using different spray things and different tools to make it. And I put a little orange background on it, and it kind of came to life. And if you look in there, there's smoky skulls in the cloud. And
yes.
It was just, that one was really fun. That was like my second one I did, and I was just kind of wanted, I was thinking Halloween explosion or something like that, and then it just kind of became satire. So I had fun with that one, and still trying to learn how this movie poster layout stuff kind of went.
Now, to be clear, I am that guy this time of year. I am that pumpkin spice guy. In my kitchen right now, I've got the pumpkin madeleines, which are soft, delicate cake-like delights. I've got frosted pumpkin cookies. I like pumpkin ice cream. I am that guy. I am welcoming Pumpkin Spice Doomsday. Bring on Armageddon. Bring on the apocalypse. I'm ready for it.
Bring it on. Exactly. You know what I like pumpkin spiced? Pumpkin pie.
All right. Well, here's something you're going to sell before the week's over, if you haven't already. I mean, this seems like a must-have for, like, I can name 50 friends right now who'd like to buy this and have this in their house.
Well, thank you. That should come down the wires. And researching this one for the disco demolition. I never really went down the rabbit hole looking into it, and it was pretty funny. It's one of those things that grows up like lore around Chicago, and you don't really consider it. I mean, they built a 10-foot fire or 15-foot fire in center field. I mean, it's absolutely the baseball announcer sounded like it was when the Hindenburg blew up. It's never seen anything worse on a baseball field in my life.
The most notorious radio promotion in history.
And the only second time in Major League Baseball that they ever forfeited a game.
This is fantastic. So this has a chalkboard look to it. How did you do this?
Well, it's deep matte black. It's the blackest black you can buy as an artist. It's called Black 3.0, and it's made by a company called Culture Hustle. And then the paint with the skull and the date, and it says Comiskey it's a iridescent type. It's almost like looks like fish scale when you see it in the light, but just like one solid shiny type situation. So that one was fun. I wanted to add, a bit of fanciness of the disco, but also the death of it there that day. So
I love it.
Nothing rock and roll more than burning down your home stadium, I guess.
I want to say hi to Mark Altschul, who's watching right now. Thank you for watching live on Facebook. Much appreciated. Oh, here's something Chicago. starring Betty White, who was probably there for the Chicago fire in 1871. Mrs. O'Leary, at last immortalized in imaginary film. This is Chicago AF, Chicago and fire.
That's the true story of how the football team got its name, I guess, or the soccer team.
Team, yes. Oh, that's fantastic.
I just pictured, when you're doing Chicago things or landmarks or happenings or history, you can't get very far without going into the Chicago fire. So I kind of wanted to portray it as Mrs. O'Leary. She was behind it all in some sinister way, and then I also wanted to give it satire. So, Betty White is, she's in a lot of my fake movies because I wanted to do someone that it could be funny and it could be whatever. And, whether she could play the part or she couldn't, it's kind of, that's how it goes. So she's the star and the writer of some of these.
Well, from fire, we move on to ice. And this is a scary Chicago story, the story of Dibs. By the way, if you ever want to know if a new radio personality in Chicago is from the area, they're not if they talk about Dibs. Let's talk about Dibs. What's up with Dibs? That's like the litmus test. If they talk about Dibs, the bean, or what do you like on your hot dog? That's how you know when a radio host has been imported from another market. I digress. Dibs, this is fantastic. This is, again, very Chicago. What's the background I'm looking at there?
The background I did was I wanted to give it texture of icy, snowy day, and it was challenging because a lot of it didn't, when you're smearing around paint or silicone mixed in and things of that nature, it doesn't always come out that way, come out the way you want it, I should say. Sometimes it self-levels and whatnot, but this one, it came out great. It looks it looks frozen kind of all the way around. And I kind of continued that theme with the frame and gave it a good texture and just the ominous shadow figure watching his spot, with the lawn chairs in front.
I love it. Yeah, this is, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Chance the Snapper. The eye, basically the eye of the lizard. I love. Is that peeking? What's he peeking through there?
Well, it was just made some kind of brick wall type situation to be able to put the wording on it. I was going to paint the reeds of Humboldt Park Lagoon, but that didn't really say Chance in the Hood. So I kind of made it spray painty, and gentrification has teeth is the
nice.
The tagline there, and
nice.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah, I gotta say, George, looking at your stuff here tonight, we've done this a few times on Carcone Carney over the past year and a half or so. These Chicago specific things, I think you've tapped into something. Like this to me is like, this is your license to print money if you keep creating these very niche Chicago things. I love it.
Well, that one I think I might put on some shirts or something. I really like that one. Was the first one I had in mind, though it wasn't the first one that I did. I wanted to give it an urban feel, like kind of how we all were. What the hell's an alligator doing in Humboldt Park in Chicago?
I like the frame. I mean, you've always been really savvy about matching the artwork to the frame.
I gashed it up like he was scratching at it.
That's you did gash it up. Gash It Up, by the way, my first adult feature. Moving on here, what are we looking here?
Great film.
It was. I mean, the production values not so much, but I was a champ in that. Balloon Not the Clown. Is this dirty?
I mean, I guess it's open to interpretation. It's got Betty White in it, so it can't be that bad. So she starred in it.
Balloon Not the Clown. People don't like clowns. People are scared of clowns. This is
and I tried to make that one, maybe not scary as much as touchy. I guess I don't know. It's kind of creepy.
Well, so and you're playing with those
lot of coats of paint on that one.
You're playing with those neons again. I remember the last time we talked, you had these like super bright neon colors, and I'm seeing a lot of that in this painting.
Yeah, and under any like black light or even just like low light, it glows. It's kind of creepy. It really is.
I love it. Oh, is that it? All right. So I need to open up. I'm going to stop sharing. I've got 3 more to show you. Again, I haven't looked at any of these yet. This is my first time looking at any of these images. And so now we're back on screen. Oh, that's the dibs behind you. I thought that looked cool.
Oh, yeah. It's the dibs and then the chants over there. I figured I'd put those up since I had technical issues today. I should call Comcast and have them credit me 15 minutes.
That's right. So all these paintings that we're showing and talking about on the podcast, these are all things that people can see, if not flat out buy when they
absolutely. They are for purchase. I feel like this is only my first annual kind of B movie. I feel like I can do this every year Halloween time.
Oh, for sure.
They're all going to be for sale. They're all going to be framed. We also have a caricature artist coming, and a lot of good surprises on this.
Wait, is that the same caricature artist who we saw at Cobra?
Yeah, absolutely. Made the thing from his name's Saul from West Airbrush Supply.
Yeah, he did a picture of me, you, and
Louis.
And Louis Mendocino from Cobra Lounge, and it was just like hauntingly accurate.
In the soup, right?
Yeah, that was fantastic. All right, I'm going to share my screen once more. And again, I've seen none of these before. So what are the 5 electric putos? Puto's not a nice word, correct?
No, it's not. I'm a chef as well, and the only Spanish I know is kitchen Spanish, and just figured I'd have a fun one. A good friend of mine called me a puto that day, so I was messing around with the skulls and just kind of made some of them, and really couldn't tie it together because I wanted something electric in there and lightning and stuff from the ominous sky that I put, and I really couldn't think of anything, and I was just like, you know what? B movies are like that, there's no sense to them a lot of times. Sharknado with a machine gun, or Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It doesn't have to make sense, and that one really didn't have a background story or any kind of thought in my head. Just that, this is what it's going to be called, and that's what it's going to be.
I love the skulls themselves, these electric blue skulls. Those are cool.
And then the lightning in the background. It was a fun one to do, and just thought of some names and popped them down there, and here we are.
As a side note, I do remember when I was a kid, we would take the L to the DePaul area, the Lincoln Park area. I remember seeing Killer Clowns in the theater as a kid. I think it was at the 3 Penny on Lincoln Avenue, like right before Fullerton. I remember seeing that. And that was my first exposure to the Dickies. I'm going down a rabbit hole, but that song, the Killer Clown song, P.T. Barnum said it so long ago. There's one born every minute, don't you know? All right, I digress.
Crazy concepts, and I kind of feel like a lot of B movies are like that. They're like, you think of one thing or one scene or some shitty name, and you build a whole movie just to get it to that name.
Well, that's what they used to do in DC Comics in like the 70s. They'd come up with a wild, ridiculous concept for the cover, like a headless Superman playing football, and then they'd have to write a story to match the cover. Same basic idea.
Get us there. Yeah, exactly. I would love to, and it's funny too, because a lot of these, they would be great movies. The Dibs one would be an amazing psychological thriller.
Oh my God, it would.
You and your neighbor fighting, looking through the windows at each other. I'm sure people have been killed in Chicago over Dibs.
Someone walks out their back door and the orange cone is just sitting there.
Just ominous. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, driving my God. I would watch that before Chicago Party ends on Netflix. I'm just saying. All right, what's next? Here we go.
There you go.
That's my name. That's my name.
Yeah. Well, that's you saving Chicago. So I wanted to keep our tradition of, when we podcast before the holidays, you get a little painting gift, and this one was kind of James Van Helsing, you know.
So that's the concept. I'm Van Helsing.
Yeah. And then instead of like, you know, Dracula's castle or whatever, I put Chicago up on a mountain back there. And
there. Okay, I see the antenna.
You know, your little glow and your little you know, supernatural slayer that you became.
Oh, that's fantastic. I am a supernatural slayer. I love this.
That's pretty funny. I wanted to get it to you ahead of today, but it's still has a drying still drying pretty slow for me.
Oh, I love it. Well, actually it's easier to show this way anyway. It's easier to show for the podcast purpose. It also glows in the dark and has like under a black light. No way.
Yeah, there you go.
It glows in the dark.
I figured a nice little Halloween decoration for you.
It glows in the dark. I love the skyline in the background. That is a lovely touch.
You know, it's, believe it or not, it's hard to paint in like lots of black, you know, with highlights. And oh man, it takes hours, you know, and you just kind of it literally looks like two different paintings.
It does. I'm kind of going back and forth right now. Oh, that's wild.
It's great. So I figured you'd have a little, you know, Halloween painting to hang up every
Dude,
Halloween.
I love it. I love you. I love it. I love you. Thank you. And now that I'm doing this side by side, looking at the background, and I'll see it for real soon, but the background behind my name, the texture behind Van Osdol is really interesting. It looks almost like electric. I can't really tell from the screen. What am I looking at here?
Yeah, it's put a little how do you say it? You know, a little electric. I mean, the whole thing about Van Osdol Van Helsing, and it was, you know, I mean, it was slaying demons and vampires and supernatural things. So you know, there's all kinds of possibilities in that universe. So I figured I'd give it a little pop of the city and give you a little glow of the moonlight, and kind of came together. And then I like the frame because it reminds me like it would be in an old castle or something.
Oh, 100%. Oh, this is so cool. All right, so everything except for the Van Helsing Van Osdol can be seen and purchased at Liars Club. And these Chicago specific things, I think the dibs, I think the Comiskey and the Chance stuff, those are like those are centerpieces.
I got more too as well.
I absolutely love it.
There's gonna be a lot of surprises.
And I said it at the beginning of this interview, like, you're just one of those guys, like, lock you in a room, give you the materials, and you'll come out with a whole bunch of shit.
Well, I got to purge somehow, you know. It's once I turned on this faucet of like trying to do, you know, just purging myself of not having a creative outlet, you know. Things are coming back now for the catering and restaurant world a little bit, slowly but surely. But I didn't know that I had the need so much that I had to, you know, I had to create, I had to get it out.
I love it. All right. So Thursday at Liars Club is when we can come out and see this stuff. Liars Club, of course, juice bar. You can't get a drink there. No one will support you in your pursuit for an alcoholic beverage at Liars Club. But if you like celery juice, beet juice, that's the place to go in Chicago.
Yeah, we're gonna do a taffy apple bar and stuff. Your old thing, you know. I'm
just kidding. It's Liars Club.
Yeah, taffy apples and Malort.
Right, exactly. Let's go have a cocktail. Let's have a nice cold beer at Liars Club. George Zak will be there with his paintings. All right, George, I'm going to kill the Facebook Live. You stay right there. Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you. Happy Halloween.